Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Pick up your logo merchandise by heading over to abvnetwork.com, clicking on Shop, and start filling your basket today. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for something for yourself, a customized gift, or logoed items for your business gift shop, the Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. That's the number 2 in the Bar to Go. Don't forget our friends at Neely Family Distillery now ship their unique distilled spirits directly to you. To order yours, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast with everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we're going to be doing a bourbon whiskey bracket challenge to figure out which star from the 1980s you would want to bring back from the dead to be a company spokesperson for our bourbon brand. My name is Miss Beka Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Heidi Fosnot, Evan Van Spoik, and Lenny Eckstein.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Howdy.
Hey. This is like a non-two-parter, because last Sunday we did Star from the 70s, and Bert Reynolds won, and today we're going to do Stars from the 80s and see who is our champion this week. Should be fun. But before we get to that, Lenny said there's something he wanted to talk about. What is that, Lenny?
Well, we're talking about, I for lack of a better way to put it, dead celebrities. And I don't want to go too dark on this, but I was thinking about, no one wants to necessarily point to how they're going to go. But I was surfing the other week and thinking, and I was the only one out there in the water and it was dark and kind of murky. And I was thinking, if I got taken out by a shark at one point in my life, I would have thought, no way, that might be the worst way ever to go, is to get a shark, massive shark bite and get thrashed, like a la Jaws. But now I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, you know what? I got to go some way. And I feel like that would be pretty epic. I wouldn't mind that story being told versus I don't want to get run over by a car.
It'd be huge. Imagine us doing the next show after Lenny was killed by a shark. We got to come on and address it as the network, talk about it.
Well, I don't mean to make this about me.
He got bit by a shark. Lenny's gone. Beka, I don't know if you heard this. Lenny's gone. He got killed by a shark last weekend. All right. And now we move on.
But not so much about me. I just mean to the point of what do you guys think? Would you be so opposed to going by means of shark at this point?
That'd be no big deal. Yeah, that'd be fun.
What would be? Is there anything worse? I feel like there's.
Oh yeah, drowning is terrible because you got to make the decision at some point in your mind. You got to be like.
What about if a shark just drags you down by your leg?
You don't do that.
That's you by eating. Kills you
at that point. You're not worried about drowning. You're worried about getting the shark off your leg.
You're not. It's the same. It's different than the just drowning.
And sharks don't.
Probably gonna, depending on how far down you go.
I think fire is the most painful death, but I think drowning's the worst.
Yeah. No.
I think bear attack could be worse. I hear they eat you.
That's what Heidi's afraid of. She has to have Jim. Jim walks her inside, which she calls from the driveway and says, "Jim, walk me in from the driveway."
You mean from the garage?
Yeah, from the garage. Just in case one snuck in the garage.
Yeah.
Are we thinking all kind of natural causes, like freak accidents, animal attacks?
Sure,
what do we limit it to?
What do you think's the worst way to die? Anything?
Yeah,
probably the worst way is you have a slow degenerative disease of your brain and then some combination of cancer. That would be the worst.
I'm talking about.
Okay, so what's the coolest?
The coolest, worst way to go?
Yeah.
Okay. I would think a flaming tornado. So you are burning. You're being.
Are we throwing out hero stuff? Steve saving a bus of 20 grade schoolers by stepping in front of them. That'd be a good way to go because that's
dying in a cool way.
What about flaming Sharknado?
Flaming Sharknado would be pretty rough.
What about getting mashed in?
Ooh, I think about that stuff. That would be brutal.
Royce,
The really bad one.
Who was it that fell into their still? There was a distiller that fell into their still.
I have.
While it's on?
Like while it was on.
Oh no, I didn't do
They got cooked in it. There was someone that happened to.
No way.
I think they sold that whiskey too.
I always tell Royce that we just distill them out.
Yeah.
The one I've seen in movies that would be like the absolute worst is the one where they put like a rabid rat in a box like to your chest, and their only option is to eat their way out because like the rat it will like eat its way out all the way through you.
Listen, that one sounds bad, but what about where they cover your entire body in honey and then they shove you in a log so then just insects eat you?
Or you become a barrel finish.
Wouldn't they just eat the honey off of you?
And you yourself, because you're laying there not moving and you're tasty.
That's gross. I'll take a shark attack.
Yeah. Shark attack.
My thing is like
Hammerhead. I think Hammerhead would be good.
No.
Yeah, Hammerhead's good.
No, just a great white. Just do it. Just get it over with.
That's just a big chomp. You're going.
Yeah.
Heidi, you don't think that's cool? I hear you're terrified of sharks. Like Jim's not afraid of sharks. He even sees sharks in the waters. He's like,
he's been in the water and like people
are they're fine
out. They're trying to get to him by a boat because there's a tiger shark swimming.
It's like the worst thing you can do is freak out.
Yeah,
that's how they're going to attack you if you freak out.
There's like a tiger shark that's like 50 yards and then it's 20 yards and then it's like 10 yards away from him. And he's like telling them, he's like, back the fuck up. I got this shit. You know, like, and I'm not. So here's the difference. Like, so we went to Dominican a couple of years ago.
Yes.
And it's crystal clear. Like the water is crystal clear. You can see what's around you. You can see what's coming at you. Then we were in Surfside, just south of Myrtle Beach. And the water there, because of the sandbar, it's so murky and churned up. Like you can't see anything once you're in waist deep water. I hate that. Like, I know that sharks are there. I know that sharks are in the water. I would rather know if a shark was coming at me because I think that I would have enough.
No, you'd freak out. You'd flip the fuck out.
No, I wouldn't.
They would think you're a seal flopping around the way you'd freak out.
No,
you'd be dead.
I would not.
A shark is within 100 yards of Heidi. She's as good as dead because she's going to freak out.
No. I think
I'd be flapping around, screaming, kicking.
I think the worst way to die would be by gator because a gator's going to grab you. It's going to death roll you. And then it's going to pin you under something at the bottom to keep you there, to tenderize you, for a couple of days before it comes back and eats you.
But that's less embarrassing. Like, what if it was a hippopotamus? I'd be embarrassed.
Oh, that's
embarrassing.
That's
horrible, but it's also embarrassing. A gator, that's tough.
Yeah. You can put that on my tombstone, gator.
I wouldn't mess with a hippo though. That thing's intimidating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hippos are
like three big teeth in
there. Evil things.
Terrible.
So are gators. I'm not worried about
gators are killing machines, yes. Especially in their environment. They're not really that dangerous on land. You can outrun them.
I would not worry about a suburban bear or any kind of a bear.
You worry about I've been on shows with you before I criticized you and you were freaked out by them. Now when I like make fun of you, you're like, they're no big deal. No big.
First of all, I've never freaked out on a show about bears ever. You have capitalized on this so-called fear that I have of suburban.
I'm getting ready to capitalize on it because I'm creating a T-shirt. I've got my graphic designer. That's his next project. The Heidi.
I'll buy one of these.
I know. I'm going to cash in. Heidi's crazy, and I'm going to cash in on it. That's just going to be
great. Has Jim shown you all the knives now? Then that I've had. Like he was like the other. So I got bear spray from his dad because it's a whole thing.
Yeah, you got bear spray. You're the only person I know that has bear spray.
No, because the whole family's in on it now because of you. And so his dad gives me bear spray for my birthday. And I'm like, thanks for the bear spray. Like, I don't know what I'm going to use. It's still in the package. Now, hunting season started, 2 weeks ago? So I've been out. I've been hunting. We have, 783 acres that we hunt on. And I walk out to my deer blind. I'll walk out to the deer stand, wherever I'm going. So Jim was like, well, I was researching like hunting pants for women because I wanted something that was, warm but still breathable and something that had pockets in it and stuff like that. So I went and bought these pants, and they were on sale at one of the local places. And so I finally went and I bought a pair of these pants, and it has all these pockets. And he was like, well, what's that pocket for? And I was like, oh, that's for my knife. And he was like, well, what's that pocket for? And I'm like, oh, that's for my other knife. And he's like, well, why do you need 2 knives? And I'm like, I don't know, just in case. I got a knife.
When open that bear spray, that's what it's for.
No, I haven't opened the bear. And he was like, so
that's right. You haven't opened it. You need a knife to open it.
He said, what are you going to do with the bear spray? And I was like, the bear spray is going to stay right there in the package. You can just put it in the garage. I don't know. Like, I'm never going to use it. And he was like, you should probably open the bear spray and just put it in your backpack. And I'm like, I am not giving you ammunition to talk to Steve about. I'm like, I will never open the fucking bear spray out of the package.
Rather die by
if it's opened, it's because Jim opened the goddamn bear spray, not me. I'll tell you that right now.
I like how your father-in-law says, I don't know your father-in-law. I've never met him, never talked to him. I don't assume he doesn't listen to the podcast. So
no, he's amazing.
Sounds like it's a Jim thing. I think
but Jim told him about all the stuff going on. So he got me bear spray. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
There are specific ways to handle different bear situations. You should know your different bears and what to do in each case.
Oh, I do.
Bear spray will work on the ones around in Missouri, the black
so
bears. Don't use it on the grizzly. That just pisses them off. It's going to get worse for you before it gets better.
So I've hiked a lot of the Appalachian Trail, and there are different bears on the trail in different parts, like southern, Midwest, or not Midwest, but like middle, and then northern. And as you go north, the bears get bigger.
Panda bears.
They just do. And these are panda bears.
They're not friendly.
Yeah.
Lenny, I hate you right now, but not as much as Evan, so it's fine.
That's right.
And still haven't forgiven him. But anyway, so
barely.
then there's you also have to be worried about bears out in Colorado.
Yeah, one of our accounts that came out to a single barrel pick had a bear poke its head into his tent while he was sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a thing.
That would be a single barrel.
Oh.
You keep them around.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Can we please fucking drink?
Yeah,
Yes.
It's time to drink. Evan, go first. What do you got, man?
So I've got a distillery release from Starlight. It is their bourbon whiskey finished in Cabernet Sauvignon barrels. It's going to be a French cork pop.
Nothing.
All I heard was the cracking and then silence.
I wonder
That's
if it's got a new setting. No cork pops allowed.
Okay.
Clearly.
All right, Becca, what do you got?
I've got our bottle, Steve, that we got to dip because Amy Akeley, Miss VIP herself, brought us to Maker's Mark because we certainly were not going to get any VIP tours out of Steve. But I've got this Maker's 46 that I dipped myself.
Okay, that was good. I won best dip there, by the way.
Yeah, you did.
I had a really good dip.
Fair. You won.
All right, Heidi, how about you? What do you got?
So
Becca's
I got
the lead.
Black Maple Hill.
Okay, pretty empty.
So hold on, I got it.
What's going on here?
Oh, that's a good one. You took the lead there. I wouldn't have thought that. That's fantastic, actually. All right, Lenny, here's where we're at. Heidi has the lead. What do you got?
I've got a Sinners Club private barrel pick. No F's given.
Okay, that's nice. No, nothing. You got to get your new mic, man.
I know.
That's your new mic's the one you got. It's faulting you. So
I don't know if it's turned on.
Yeah. I've got Broken Barrel here. This is a Flavor Yard pick, 115 proof. So packs a little punch. Huge cork. Pretty full though. And I haven't opened it for a while. I did took one pour out of here and then haven't opened it for a long time. Maybe it'll be a great cork.
He's already claiming the win on this.
Big cork energy.
Yep. That's pretty good. Pretty clean. I stuck the landing. I still got to say that Heidi's was better though. Heidi's was very loud. So cheers, gang.
Cheers. Congrats, Heidi.
All right. We'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about 80s celebrities. We'll do that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and I'm excited to announce a brand new partnership with Leatherwood Distillery in Pleasant View, Tennessee. Many of you have perhaps heard of Leatherwood via our co-host on the Bourbon Daily, Kaylee Baker, who works there. Well, they're now an official sponsor of the network, and we look forward to everyone getting to know a little bit more about them. Company founder Andrew Lang brought his brewing and distilling hobby with him during his years of service as a Green Beret in the United States Army. Whether he was at his home base of Fort Campbell or during tours of duty in places like Italy or Afghanistan, Lang distilled whatever was available to him locally. We are excited about getting to know Andrew Lang and his team better via our programming and are planning a trip down there for the ABV Network crew very soon. In the meantime, check them out at leatherwooddistillery.com, where they will ship bottles directly to you, including their special Remembering 9/11 series, which is raising money for military charities. Seriously, get out there, buy some bottles, help a good cause, and let us know what you think. We're really excited about this partnership. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and let's talk for a moment about our sponsors, the people that make this show happen. First up is our friends at Moonshine University. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at their office in Louisville. The information I learned through lead instructor Colin Blake and their team there is something that I continue to draw upon frequently in my role at the ABV Network. It truly is the standard of establishing a benchmark of knowledge of the bourbon industry. From history to production to brands and people, it's all there. Check out their full listing of programs, including Executive Bourbon Steward certification, production classes if you're considering starting a distillery, and much more at moonshineuniversity.com. I also want to talk about Neely Family Distillery. Back in May of 2018, I met Royce Neely at Limestone Branch's Craft Bourbon Festival. It ended up not only being the start of a great friendship, I started to truly learn about what makes craft whiskey so amazing. You see, I had been a bourbon drinker for over 30 years at that point, and like many people who had been drinking bourbon a long time, I was hard-coded into thinking big bourbon was where it was at and craft was on a journey to get there. Spending time with Royce and learning the things he does to make his whiskey taste better started to really get me to appreciate how things like sweet mashing, open top fermentation, pot distillation, and the grains you are using not only makes your product taste better coming off the still, but also out of the barrel as well. I still love heritage brands and they make up a bulk of my collection. But when you find a craft distiller that is truly dedicated to the craft of distilling, you are drinking some of the best whiskey out there on the market today. That's exactly what's happening at Neely Family Distillery today. Check them out on the web at neelyfamilydistillery.com, or better yet, stop by and see them at their distillery in Sparta, Kentucky. And now, back to the show.
This is BR 549, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're going to figure out which 1980s celebrity we would want to be our bourbon ambassador.
Yes, we are. So the celebrities are as follows. Ricardo Montebello. The next one, I think most people say Hervé Villachez, but I believe he pronounced it Hervé Villachez. He was French, of course, so say it however you want. We know who we're talking about. Tattoo from Fantasy Island. We got both the guys from Fantasy Island made the list, so that's pretty good. Carrie Fisher, Leonard Nimoy, Kevin MacLeod, Robin Williams, Whitney Houston, and Roger Moore. Our matchups are going to look like this. Roger Moore will take on Hervé Villachez. Ricardo Montebello will take on Robin Williams. Kevin MacLeod takes on Carrie Fisher. And finally, Whitney Houston takes on Leonard Nimoy. Round number one, Evan, you're first. Roger Moore or Hervé?
Ooh. I like Hervé in this round.
Hervé goes up 1-0. Lenny, what do you think? Bond himself or Tattoo?
I mean,
by their character names.
I think like if the question was posed differently, it was like I don't even know how you'd pose it, but if we were just to talk about the novelty of Hervé Villachez, which is how I believe it's pronounced. I mean, he's epic, but if I was to put myself in the role of a marketing executive at a big heritage brand, Roger Moore is kind of a no-brainer in that pair.
Okay. Roger Moore has tied it up. Heidi, what do you think? Roger Moore or Hervé?
Oh, God. I mean, who doesn't like the plane? The plane. But I mean, you're looking at Roger Moore in his younger years, and he was kind of a handsome guy.
Even in his older years,
he was James Bond.
Yeah,
No.
He was fucking James Bond.
Not handsome.
He didn't age well. We talked about this earlier, but
neither did Hervé Villachez.
Yes, Hervé did.
No, not at all.
Oh yeah, Roger Moore didn't age well. Yeah, Hervé did.
But as I was going through them, and I'm like, do I do tattoo or do I do Roger Moore? And I would have to say, from like a distillery standpoint, I would have to go with Roger Moore.
Roger Moore goes up 2-1.
But he could never say shaken, not stirred.
Okay. Miss Beka Sue, what do you think? Roger Moore or Hervé?
But there's not a fucking choice. Roger Moore. Are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding? James Bond. Who's going to be your better whiskey representative here? James Bond is going to be a better whiskey representative.
Okay. Roger Moore does move on. Ricardo Montebello versus Robin Williams, round number 2. Lenny, you're first. Who do you think, Ricardo or Robin Williams?
I think there's some problems with a few of the candidates in this list. And God, with all respect to Robin Williams' family, I think that there's some that you bring back and there's just like a dark component to it. Sorry, it's just how it is.
You're right.
So, and Ricardo Montebello, like I just feel like he would be celebrated. He's I don't know. I think he's gonna have to move on.
Yeah. Tasting notes, he could be like rich Corinthian leather.
That's right.
Not doing the accent correctly.
Yeah, that's perfect. Heidi, you're next.
Oh God, as much as I love Robin Williams and everything, I go back to Ricardo because his accent and just watching him and on TV and everything, like, I don't even care how he aged. I like Ricardo.
All right. That means Ricardo is up 2-0 over Robin Williams. What do you think, Miss Beka Sue?
I'm gonna go right along the lines with like what Lenny said, but I love Robin Williams, but I think that Ricardo Montebello would probably be a better representation of whiskey.
All right, that means Ricardo moves on. Round number 3, Heidi, you're first. Kevin MacLeod, the skipper on the Love Boat, or Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia.
That's a hard one. How do you not want the captain of the Love Boat being your brand ambassador? But then you have Carrie Fisher, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's tough. It's tough.
God, just because it's only because of Star Wars, I'm going Carrie Fisher.
Carrie Fisher goes up 1-0. Round number 3. Miss Beka Sue, Carrie Fisher or Kevin MacLeod?
So you would think that you'd know where I'm going with this one because I love Star Wars.
Right.
But Carrie Fisher also famously had addiction problems. And so I would not want her to be involved in any sort of whiskey, anything, just for my love of her.
That makes it better.
I would rather her not be associated with it. So because of that, I'm going to go with, it's Gavin MacLeod, right?
Gavin MacLeod.
MacLeod.
Kevin MacLeod has tied it up. I think you got to go Carrie Fisher here. Those issues aside, I think if we brought her back, I think she would be your corporate spokesperson for sure. She had a lot going for her, and I'm going to go Carrie Fisher. Evan, what do you think? Carrie Fisher or Gavin MacLeod? Carrie's up 2-1.
I'm right there along with you. I'm thinking Carrie Fisher. So I will defend as a lover of Star Wars that I think she's the right choice. And you know what? You don't always have to get high on your own supply.
There you go. Next up is Whitney Houston versus Leonard Nimoy. Round number 4, Miss Beka Sue, you're first. Whitney Houston or Leonard Nimoy?
Leonard Nimoy. Are you kidding me? Like Leonard Nimoy, 1,000% Leonard Nimoy. There's not even for a second did I think Whitney Houston.
I get there and I think of Whitney, if I could come up with a nice song for her to sing, boy, what a voice, and it could really highlight my brand.
But Leonard Nimoy,
definitely more of a scientific approach. I guess I'll go Leonard Nimoy. Leonard Nimoy is up 2-0. Evan, what do you think? Whitney Houston or Leonard Nimoy?
Tough. I want to say Nimoy, but then when you were just saying like if you had the right song,
right?
And she's just out there belting. Because what? She has like a 5-octave range.
Really, family.
It's just like she did a cover of "I Will Always Love You," correct?
Right, correct.
That was like one of her
Dolly
big
Parton
ones.
song.
Yeah. I mean, and I will always drink bourbon or something, or I will always love whiskey. Like it's right there for you. But yeah, I think I'll go Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah. Leonard seems like he'd take it seriously. He'd be a good spokesperson, I guess. So, all right, our final four looks like this. Roger Moore will take on Ricardo Montebello, Carrie Fisher versus Leonard Nimoy. Round number 5, it's going to be me first. Roger Moore or Ricardo Montebello. I think this one's easy for me. Bond stuff aside, Ricardo Montebello is pretty cool. I think that the character is cool, but I also don't think Roger Moore was the best Bond. So I think that Ricardo Montebello was the best, everything that he did. Khan, he was the best Mr. Rourke. They've had several versions of that now. I got to go Ricardo Montebello. So he goes up 1-0. Evan, what do you think?
Yeah. And also, didn't he become a brand ambassador for a certain product? Like, so he's done the job, I believe.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, he was a famous celebrity spokesperson.
Yeah. I think
it makes Chrysler when he talked about they made up Corinthian leather because it sounded good when he said it. Rich Corinthian leather. It's not even a real thing. There's no such thing as Corinthian leather, but it sounded good saying it. So
yeah, there you go. And I agree. He's not my favorite Bond. I wouldn't even have listed him second or third. So yeah, going with Ricardo.
Ricardo Montebello goes up 2-0. Lenny, what do you think? Roger Moore or Ricardo Montebello?
Kind of a coin flip on this one. I think they both have merit. I agree. He certainly wasn't my favorite Bond, but he was all right. Heidi accuses him of not aging well. I believe the guy lived to like 91. So
right. Who ages well at 91? Yeah. Well, that's a hot 91-year-old. No, it doesn't happen.
No. Ricardo Montebello, he looked pretty good for his age, but I can't not picture him as Khan. I guess, I don't know. I guess in that capacity, I would like to see Khan as a bourbon spokesman.
All right. That means Ricardo Montebello moves on. Next up is Carrie Fisher versus Leonard Nimoy. Round number 6. Evan, you're first.
I'm going Carrie Fisher here. Going with Princess Leia.
Princess Leia versus Spock this round, apparently. Lenny, you're next. Carrie Fisher or Leonard Nimoy?
I mean, one would definitely go with Leonard Nimoy if they hate money when it comes to Carrie Fisher as the opposition. I mean, Carrie Fisher is a slam dunk as a bourbon spokeswoman, as long as it could be the younger Carrie Fisher, can't be the old Carrie Fisher. So if we can bring her back as, the obvious Princess Leia time frame, then she gets the nod.
So we have to put her in that bikini and on a chain and all that stuff.
Of course.
Have Jabba the Hutt standing next to her. That's how Lenny finds her.
She was practically a bartender in that scene.
Okay. All right. Carrie Fisher is quickly up 2-0. Heidi, you're next, though. Carrie Fisher or Leonard Nimoy?
Yeah, let's just go ahead and close this one out. Who wouldn't want Carrie Fisher?
Carrie Fisher.
As their spokesperson.
Carrie Fisher moves on. Yes. When you look at celebrities, I struggle with a lot of celebrities because I think there's not even really a normal person there. They're a celebrity. They're not even a normal people. They're a different breed. And Carrie Fisher, you could hang out with her. She was normal. Round number 7, Ricardo Montebello takes on Carrie Fisher. Heidi, you're going to be first. Who do you want to be your spokesperson?
Yeah,
Ricardo Montebello or Carrie Fisher?
Yeah, I'm going to go straight with Carrie Fisher on this one.
Carrie Fisher goes up 1-0. Beka, you're next. Carrie Fisher or Ricardo Montebello?
I do enjoy that Carrie Fisher could just tell people to fuck off all the time. She did it often.
Right.
It's kind of her thing. What do I want to go with?
What a role she had in Blues Brothers too, by the way. She's chasing down Belushi the whole time, firing guns at him and all this shit. And finally gets him. She's got him ready to execute him. And he pulls his sunglasses down and gives her the eyes. He kisses her, drops her to the ground and says, "Let's go."
Let's go Carrie Fisher, I guess, on this
Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher is quickly up 2-0. I loved Carrie Fisher. I thought she was great and everything. She was, remember the cameo in Austin Powers? Gosh, darn.
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
She was great. She was great in everything. But when I think of bourbon today, Ricardo Montebello in his real life was kind of this, almost like a corporate spokesperson. He was kind of a gentleman, kind of a cool guy too, where he could do these parts like that. I think that he would be a good fit. So I'm going to go with him. I think he would be my good spokesperson. So I'm going to go Ricardo Montebello. And Evan, here's where Carrie Fisher's up 2-1 over Ricardo Montebello. What do you think?
Yeah. So you make a good argument for Ricardo Montebello. I think he fits really well. And I'm going to actually use a little bit of information from a previous decade. A week ago, we thought that Bert Reynolds would be great for the 70s. And I think if we're a similar brand or the same brand as we evolve over time, at this point in the 80s, I think it's ripe for Princess Leia and Carrie Fisher to take the reins from Bert Reynolds.
There you go.
Whether they're competing or whether she's the successor, I think that's the right fit.
Carrie Fisher is our champion. There you go. Carrie Fisher would be the person we would bring back to be our celebrity spokesperson for our bourbon. I think it's a good choice. I was angry last week, furious. I yelled at you guys for 45 minutes after the show ended. But this one, I can't. I did not vote for Carrie, but I can't. That was a toss up for me. It was a tough one. So good for Carrie. She is our champion, and she wins this one. All right, tell us what you think of these shows, and maybe we can go back to other decades and see if there's other celebrities we want to bring back. 60s and 50s, Evan, you'd really be out of it for that. Even I would be. I'd be in the same boat as you, but I know who they are. Unlike Evan's generation, I know who the celebrities of the generations before me are.
Let's do who the best mobster would be to be your bourbon.
Okay.
Yes.
That'd be fun.
That's a show.
Yeah. Which bootlegger / moonshiner gangster would be the best?
Yeah, because you think right away you think Capone wins anything. Well, let's not forget Remus.
I was thinking Tom Hardy's character from
Lawless.
Yes, Lawless.
Charming watermelon. Lawless.
All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. We're going to start with Evan. Evan, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Evan Van Spoik, and Instagram, Wit Wisdom Whiskey.
All right, Lenny, how about you?
So you can find myself and the rest of Deerhammer on social media at Deerhammer, on the web at deerhammer.com, where you can also order all of our bottles shipped to your door. And you can come visit us in beautiful Buena Vista, Colorado, or I might be hanging out in the ocean as shark bait.
There you go. Heidi, how about you?
You can find me on Facebook at Heidi Topol Eller, or you can find me on Instagram as Heller_BellerBabe.
All right, Miss Beka Sue.
Hey, Lenny, you can name your next barrel that shark bait.
Shark bait.
Perfect.
You can also find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. Previous shows, blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. Miss Beka Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right, great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's chat for a moment about Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you just want to experiment on a small scale on the stove in your kitchen or try your hand at a bigger setup in the backyard, Moonshine Still Pro can help. They have different still offerings as well as accessories and even grains from Goldstone Mill to help you make whiskey on par with what you get from your favorite distillery. They can even assist with a DIY still project by supplying some of the parts you can't make yourself. Check them out at moonshinestillpro.com. At the ABV Network, we're lucky enough to have some great friends. Amongst those friends is the Goldstein family, owners of Goldstone Mill. Goldstone Mill is a full-service mill offering a variety of heritage and heirloom grains. Their unique approach of working with mills around the country allows them to offer you affordable shipping opportunities to meet the unique needs of your distillery or brewery. They will consult with you to ensure the grains you are selecting meets the unique flavor profiles you are looking for. If you are a home brewer or distiller and you're looking for the grains that your local distillery or brewery uses, Goldstone Mill is the place to look. Check them out on the web at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or shoot them an email at hello@goldstonemill.com.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.